Hello guys, welcome back for another video, and in this one I'm going to show you how to create publication ready figures using Matplotlib. So look at those two plots that you have on screen now. The one on the right is the plot that will get your paper projected. This plot is not publication ready, and the plot on the left is a plot that is publication ready. And in this video I will be showing you how to simply change simple plot that is not ready for publication to a plot that is ready for publication. Okay, so first let's go to the code that produced the let's call it part figure. Let's close everything. Yeah, so this is the code that produced the part figure. Simple import, no global settings, simple data, not very informative proper label, and poor access definition, poor plot description, and also export is very bad. So this is the thing that is killing the figure, is this export in JPEG with a very low resolution, which is very bad for publication. So if we run this now, okay, so now see, if we close this and open it, you see that if I zoom in, you will see that there is a lot of like pixelated zones everywhere on the plot. Okay, so as you can see, everything is pixelated inside the plot, and we do not want this for our applications. Okay, so this is very bad, and we want to avoid this, and I will be showing you how to avoid this. Okay, so now let's create same figure but with all problem fixed and make the figure publication ready. So to do this, first let's like copy and paste, and we'll just change everything that needs to be changed. Okay, so let's delete this and add global settings to make sure that the plot is consistent. So it is always a good idea to set your global parameters at the top of your script using plt.lcpar. This ensure consistency across all your figures. Sorry. And in my case, I have like snippet code that I can copy and paste that I usually use for my figures, and this code will be available inside a GitHub that I will link inside the video description. Okay, and it's basically like just like choosing like the best and the most common parameters for making sure that the figure is looking good. Okay, just choosing the font size, the label x-axis size, and the x tick and y tick label size. Same for the legend, and also it's also defining the resolution for the export, which is for most of the time 300 is the minimum for publication ready figures. Okay, so always great to have this placed at the top of your figure, your script for your figures, or you can have it like in another script called config, whatever you want, and then import it, and then you can like for all the figure that you do and all your project across like all the different Python file, you can use it and make sure that it's consistent across all your figure and look professional. Okay, so first problem fixed. We have like a more professional, good looking figures. The next, so let's see what this did change. Okay, great, and call it one, just for reference. let's usually save, so let's cancel this. Yeah, so let's save. Okay, so as you can see, did change the font bit and also change like the look of the different axes and also the look of the Y and X label. Let's label it here, same for the legend. Okay, so now what we can do is the data will stay the same, and good thing to do most of the time is to use not to initiate your plot with plt.figure, but with plt.subplot. Okay, and with this you will be able to even if you do not use multiple plots, you will be able to have more control over your plot, over the axis. So this is recommended to do this. Okay. Next, instead of using PLT now, we created this object, and everything that we want to add will be through the axis variable. So this will be changed. So axis plot is the same. Now, usually we want to add like, since it's a mathematical expression, in Matplotlib, we have support for LaTeX. So to add LaTeX, it's very simple. We just need to have like a R string. And just need to make sure that we add the correct notation in LaTeX, and that's it. We have our nice equation rendered. You can also like make sure that to differentiate the two lines, make sure that there is no ambiguity between those two. So let me copy the colors. Okay, yeah, those two should be fine. But I've already prepared. Yeah, nice colors. One blue, one orange, and also we want to differentiate the figure by the color and by the form, and can be done by line style. And this can be also done for other type of plot, but it is always a good idea to make sure to differentiate between each line, each point, by color, by form, so it is visually easier to understand the decomposition of the plot and what the plot is trying to say. Okay, and to do so, we can have like one with plain line and one with dashes. Great. Now what we can do is same. We can change the x-axis and the title, and same. We need to change this. And now we can like, instead of being vague in for the X label and the Y label and the title, be more precise to say the units and what the plot is representing. Okay, always say the unit, what the plot is representing, always. So same, we can add like a string. So X will be regions, and Y will be f of X will represent the amplitude of the signal. Great. And for the title, what we can do is we can just like say that it is like trigonometric function of can have like I take again K and cosine. Yeah, just need to close the door with the dollar sign. And now if we plot the intermediate step, you'll see that we are like okay, kind of unpack. Okay, yeah, I did a typo, it's with an S. So let's see. Okay, and yeah, we need to set this. It's not the same, and it's X and Y. Okay, and it will be the same for title. Set title, and now we should be able to see the changes that we made. Okay, great. So as you can see, we have a nice title now. Same, we have like a more informed X and Y label with a better font and LaTeX notations. Perfect. So now we can now fix the fourth issue, which was like since we are plotting a trigonometric function, this is out of context. To have like 0 to 6 does not mean something very meaningful. Okay, so we need to change this, and having like an X axis that is relevant to the context, and in our case being relevant to the context will be adding the plot to 0 to pi, for example. Okay, we'll change this and change the X text. And to do so, what we need to do is set the X text. Yeah. So we need to just define a list of elements for the evaluation of the function. So it will be from 0 to pi. So the next value will be pi divided by 2. And then pi, and then 3 multiplied by pi, and then yeah, just 2 pi. Okay, perfect. And now since we defined different new value where the function will be evaluated, we need to set new value of the label concerning the strings associated to those values. So we need to define those set. And it will be basically like the string version of those values written in a LaTeX format. Okay. Same for this. So let's do it like this. Like this. And yeah, I think that should be and we need to add a LaTeX notation since it will produce pi to make sure to render the pi correctly. So let's see changes. Okay, seems that we had an issue, so it's not okay. So yeah, this should be first code, then from the coding we should pass an array, and it was not the case. Okay, so now it should work properly. Yeah, so if we go now and check, so still there is like some issue here, so let's try to change it. So yeah, we forgot to use the LaTeX notations. So yeah, now it should work properly. Let's see. Okay, got some issues now. Yeah, did a mistake, which is like since it's not from NumPy, just from LaTeX, do not need to use like, and it was a mistake from my side. And now, pretty sure it will work now. Okay, great. So let's see. Yeah, as you can see, we have like a nice notation with the okay, great. So now we fixed this issue. So we changed the tick default value, and now we can fix the fifth issue, which is like associated to the grid. So it's about like poor visibility. And to change this, what we can do is we recommend to use this is use the alpha value of the grid, which like will make the grid more transparent based on the value. So the lower the value is, the more transparent the grid will be. So let's go for which is reasonable 0.3, and we can have like different line style as we had for the line, and full will be a straight line, and with two dashes will be like lined with dashes, and this one will be having like line with full width. So let's see the difference. Yeah, you can see we have like much more transparent with full width and simple dots. Okay. And same goes for this, and we also need to change the legend, and to change the legend, we'd like to position the legend where it will not affect the plot. So you need to see where your legend is, what is the best place for your legend. And to change the location of the legend, you can just like use lock with upper right, for example. Put it like on top right. And you can also use something that is called frame on, which will provide like make sure that the legend is better rendered. And we can add like a frame on alpha. Also to have like control the appearance of the frame. That will like guide the legend. Okay. Now we decided to have the legend here. Most likely the legend will be much more easy to have here. So let's change it and having like lower left. Yeah, as you can see, you can change where the legend looks like. Okay. So very important, you need to make sure that your legend is not like making your figure less understandable and like is completely taking information from the figure. So it should not mess with the context inside your figure. Okay. Now what we can do is we can go for the different thing that we can like change the import of the the figure. But before changing the import, one thing that is also good to do is to set the limit of your different axes. And to do so, we just need to add like x axis and set the different x limit. In all cases, it will be 0, 2, p dot pi, and for the z axis will be basically something symmetrical. And yeah, that will be, so it's from -1 to 1, but always good to like to have it like a bit like higher and a bit lower to make sure to fully have like the full figure inside. And for better rendering, we can also add minor tick. So yeah, so it's displaying minor tick on the axis, okay, for more precision basically. And it's always useful to do this when you need precision and your values are difficult to read and differentiate inside your plot. Okay. And now the last thing is the export, which is the most important. Okay. So we will delete this. No, yeah. Let's just like call it like publication ready. And what we want is work as much as possible with PDF. So if you can always work with PDF and use this inches tight to make sure that the plot is nicely compact and is rendered nicely. Okay, so this is the most important part. You can also have it like in SVG. Okay, so if you want to be able to edit it, for example, in Inkscape, or if you want to be able to edit it in any vector format figure editor, even for the PDF. So most of the time, when you publish, the editor will ask for PDF source. So it's always good to work with PDF. And if you still need to work with PNG or JPEG, what you need to do is make sure to have like at least the DPI that is as we, because we did this in the beginning with the default parameters. When we save, it will be at least at DPI 300. But in case you didn't add these parameters, you always need to have like this added. And sometimes they ask for more, so just add like more if necessary. Okay. And now we can basically plot everything and see what we get. Okay, great. It is XLim, and same for the y-axis. And now it should be working properly. Okay, great. And now if we look at the PDF, we can zoom in without any loss of, okay, same in all case, not sorry, the PDF we have like still the 300 DPI, but it is with the vector format SVG that will not have any loss of info if we zoom in. As you can see, there is no loss of info here. We can zoom in as much as we can, as like VS Code allows to zoom, so we can basically see that there is no loss of info here. And since we increased the resolution when we zoom in with this PDF, you need to zoom more for seeing like the figure to get blurred and pixelated. If you remember at the beginning with the bot figures, like from just this zoom, you started to see like very like blurry and pixelated place. And if we really zoom in, as you can see, this is like too much pixelated, and it will not be accepted inside any kind of journal. Okay, if your paper accepted with this kind of plot, you got time, my friend. So yeah, make sure to have like publication ready plots. Okay, so to like give some kind of conclusion, so 3 quick like tips to finish. Make sure to have your set parameters, so set RC parameters at the beginning of your script, or you can have like a separate one, config file, and import it for all your project. The second one is make sure to like add things to differentiate inside your plots, so it can be colors, it can be forms. Always good to have like things to make sure that the plot is visually easy to understand. And the last thing is make sure to have like something that is simple and with avoid complexity and something that you can export with good resolution. Okay, so fancy figures with like low resolution and simple figure that just go to the point with high resolution will always be better than the complex one with like a low resolution. Okay, so and also remember to add those to avoid those mistakes at like any cost, because it will like it happened to me like some 2 times, but did not get rejected. But I was lucky. That get rejected. I was lucky. But some of my friends did not have like the same change. So yeah, make sure to have this. Some editor do not talk with you a lot. They just like you get like this rejected like this just for uh, those figures issue. Okay. So that's it. You know now how to like create publication ready figures. I hope you liked the video. And if you are more interested in Matplotlib and figures generation, I made like videos on Inkscape to create like a very nice figure with text that can be directly made within Inkscape and that are fully editable. And I also made a video to explain how to create animation using Matplotlib. Thank you for watching, and I will be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye, guys.